Welcome, everyone. The Red Clay Consolidated School District is proud to bring you a very special graduation ceremony celebrating the Conrad Schools of Science Class of 2020.
shoes?
Good afternoon. I'm Charnel Taylor, Class President of the Conrad Class of 2020. Welcome to our 2020 commencement exercises. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Good evening, parents, guardians, family, friends, alumni, faculty and staff, and everyone else out there who may be joining us in sharing this special day. But most of all, welcome to the Conrad Schools of Science Class of 2020 and our 10th commencement in Conrad Schools of Science history. We are certainly in unprecedented times, and I would be less than honest if I did not share the emptiness I feel here on these steps alone today. This is my favorite time of year, every year, graduation season. And while we are not together, I have never felt more pride than I do today in the class of 2020. This is a day of great joy and a day that we've been waiting for many years. And we have many people to thank. First, the Red Clay Consolidated School District School Board and their steadfast leadership. The Red Clay District Office, led by our Superintendent, Mr. Green. And of course, all of the faculty and staff who have provided you with the foundation and opportunity for the paths of which you are about to embark today. Representing our faculty in 2020, our advisors, Ms. Katrina Holloway and Dr. Barbara Prilliman. And I would like to give special thanks to Mr. Robert Naylor, whose time and talents have been endless during this season of virtual celebrations. I would like to thank our parents and families for your support throughout your child's education. We all know the connection between parent support and student success. But most of all, I would like to thank the class of 2020, each of you, who have made us so very proud. You would have been represented on stage today by your class president, Ms. Charnel Taylor. I thank her for her leadership, and you will hear from her shortly. Enjoy the program.
I would like to introduce our first speaker, Delaware Governor, Mr. John Carney.
Hi, this is Governor John Carney. I wanted to take this time to address the entire class of 2020. Normally, I would be giving a graduation speech like this in a large venue like a football stadium, an auditorium, or a gymnasium. I know this is not the way many of you wanted your senior year to end, but I'm confident that the class of 2020 will be one of the most resilient graduating classes in the history of our state. No doubt we are experiencing a situation like no other in our state, across our country, and throughout the world. The changes to our routines and the disruption of our daily lives has not been easy, and we've had to make different memories than the ones we expected. The experiences and knowledge you've gained over the last 4 years will help you adjust to the new normal. You are armed with the skills you'll need to succeed as you continue your education or enter into the workforce. And more than ever, you're equipped with the ability to work through new challenges that you will encounter along the way. We've never needed more problem solvers and innovators than we do now, and I'm confident that the class of 2020 will rise to the occasion. Though we are celebrating this milestone virtually, let's not forget the importance of graduation. Your hard work and dedication have paid off as you make this important step into the next chapter of your lives. I look forward to seeing your continued success. I know we'll get through this difficult time and that you will help lead us to a stronger future. Congratulations to the class of 2020, and good luck to each and every one of you.
Thank you, Governor Carney. Our next speaker, Delaware Secretary of Education, Mrs. Susan Bunting.
Delaware seniors, I am Secretary of Education Susan Bunting, and I want to congratulate you on earning your diplomas. I know this wasn't the senior year that you envisioned. Your families and communities are facing challenges. You may know someone who is ill or who has died because of COVID-19. You may know someone who has lost his or her job or is struggling to put food on the table because of lost income. Our nation and state are facing great losses right now. As serious as those challenges are, they don't trivialize your own disappointment. You have reason to feel upset about the missed spring sports season, musicals, concerts, and proms. You wanted to finish your senior year in the class with your teachers and your friends. You wanted to walk across the stage of Bob Carpenter Center or your high school stadium to receive your diploma and hear the well-deserved applause of the thousands that were there to cheer you on. You earned that. While your disappointment is real and you may briefly grieve for those lost plans, recognize that your class will be an historic one. The class of 2020 will be remembered not for what it couldn't have, but for what it overcame. Your leadership, creativity, and resilience will be long commended. As school buildings closed, you continued to remotely learn, either at your kitchen table or your home desk. This forced you to think differently, often work more independently, and manage your time in new ways. All of these are skills that will serve you well in college, the military, and in your career. Some of you balanced your own studies while supporting younger siblings. Some of you continued working part-time jobs, putting yourselves on the line in this crisis to benefit others. Some of you went to work to support our first responders, using your 3D printers to make face guards or sewing face coverings for those in need. Adults who don't know teens well often quickly judge your generation. During this crisis, the class of 2020 certainly has proven those stereotypes wrong. You have worked hard when it would have been easy to give up. You finished your studies, met your goals, and are now ready to support your families and communities in new ways. We need people like you right now. We need people who can move past their own disappointments to work hard, take risks, and persevere for the good of the community. Your school leaders are planning activities to mark your accomplishments this spring in ways that are safe for you and your families and give you the recognition that you, the members of the class of 2020, truly deserve. I am sincerely proud of each of you and emphasize that each of you is here for a special purpose. R. Buckminster Fuller once professed, and I quote, "Never forget that you are one of a kind, and never forget, no matter how overwhelming life's challenges and problems seem to be, that one person can make a difference in the world. In fact, it is always because of one person that all the changes that really matter in the world come about. So be that person. Seniors, you are a special class, one that none of us will ever forget. I reiterate my congratulations on your achievements to date, wish you the best in the future, and challenge you as you go out into the world to use your talents and resolve to dream big and make a difference.
Thank you, Mrs. Bunting. Our next speaker is Red Clay Superintendent, Mr. Darrell Green.
Hello, Conrad class of 2020. On behalf of the Red Clay Consolidated School District, members of the school board, district leadership, staff, and educators, we say thank you. As we celebrate this milestone in your lives during this unconventional time and in this virtual manner, we thank you for the sacrifice that this class of graduates were born into. Your graduating class that was born post 9/11, and now you're graduating with COVID-19. I'll be brief with my remarks because we're here to celebrate and recognize this milestone in your life's journey. I recently came across a quote by Robert Frost that simply states, "The best way out is through." The class of 2020 has been through, currently going through, and will continue to go through challenging times. We often associate 2020 with vision, or, for the parents and grandparents who are viewing, the TV show hosted by Barbara Walters. But 2020 has a lot of significance and meaning when it comes to think of it. Someone with 2020 vision can see what the average person can't. 2020 represents your visual acuity, which refers to the distance and size. You have come a long way, and the magnitude of the challenges you face may feel overwhelming, but the class of 2020 represents so much more. It's a matter of perspective. Even in the midst of this difficult time, what you do and what you see in your future is up to you, class of 2020. You hold the pen as you write your own narrative. Vision is the act of power which gives direction to our lives and makes our goals and dreams a reality. A vision is not the same as our goals or objectives, however. Those come from the head. A vision comes from the heart, and you are the class with heart. Class of 2020 has routinely demonstrated both heart in our schools and throughout our community as you endure and celebrate all that you have to offer. Conrad, led by the 2020 Student Council members, are the group that wowed Mr. Rodney Robinson, the National Teacher of the Year, when he visited Delaware, and seniors such as Sophia Henriques and Victoria Brown embody the best that this senior class has to offer. It's a testament and reflection of each member of this graduating class. You support one another, you foster resilience, and we're proud of you. Vision shows us where we're headed. So what is your true north? And we encourage you to don't stop dreaming. Vision provides motivation and inspires us. Your brilliance and thirst for life is inspiring to others. Vision helps us to keep moving forward and move through obstacles. You will make mistakes, but continue to be the risk takers that you are. Vision provides focus. Be smart about living out your dreams and surround yourself with support systems that will keep you focused. And vision gives us purpose and meaning to do what we do. No matter what, know that you matter. Walk boldly into the future, although it may feel scary and full of uncertainty at this time. You're the class of 2020. You see things that others don't see. Even in these troubling times, there's an expectation that you help lead our state, our nation, and the world as you pass through this milestone. Do it with heart, passion, and determination. Just remember this, class of 2020. You're the class that holds the vision to the future and the class that has captured our hearts. We love you, we salute you, we wish each of you the best in all that you do as you move forward, and know that you always have a home here in Red Clay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Our next speaker is a member of the Conrad Schools of Science, class of 2020, Miss Julia Coughlin.
What do you call home? Before Conrad, I wasn't sure where I wanted to be or what I pictured as my ideal high school. The only thing I knew was that the school I was in before didn't feel right. I didn't think it was meant for me. I remember around winter of my 8th grade year, my dad saying to me, "So you're coming to Conrad next year, right?" I told him honestly, I don't really want to, but I also don't know what I want or where else I would go. So I would continue to go off of what my dad told me about Conrad. You'll love it. It's a school of science, so of course it's awesome. I simply chose Conrad not because I was dying to go there, but because I wanted somewhere that could potentially be my home. When you picture your home, some of you may think of the first house you've lived in, where you were born, or where you've lived the longest. I live in Newark, Delaware, near the border of Pennsylvania. Some may consider my area as Hockessin, but I call it the middle of nowhere. I have grown up in the same house, same backyard, same cul-de-sac, and with the same neighbors and friends. Nothing has changed. But would I consider that my home? I have been a student at Conrad for 4 years now, while others may have been here for more or less. But what I learned from my experience here at Conrad is that it doesn't matter how much time you've spent somewhere. What forms the comfort of a home is the memories you make and the little things you know will stick with you forever. What makes me feel at home is walking the halls at 7:20 a.m. while getting made fun of by Farside, Pappas, Naylor, and my own father, scoring volleyball games 2 to 3 times a week to watch my best friends play, and playing soccer with the best teammates I could ask for, no matter what field it was on that season. Being at home is being with our Red Zone, where there's a feeling of community and togetherness with students in all grades. I find comfort in cheering on our sports teams with students that I might not even know. Conrad's mascot was once a Redskin, as we all remember. Some of us were devastated that what was representing our school and student body was being taken away. Meanwhile, other students, teachers, and faculty were excited to be a part of this transition. Even though our school community went through a change, there was never a dull moment, and in fact, I think that change might have brought us all closer together. At sporting events, as Red Wolves, we have come to call ourselves the Wolf Pack, which I think is pretty cool. As a Wolf Pack, we got to watch other members of our pack win the girls' basketball state championship. As a Wolf Pack, we were able to help our home community by meeting our fundraising canned food drive goal. All of these changes, though new and somewhat scary at first, in the end, brought us all together. At Conrad, everybody supports each other, no matter if it's in the classroom, courts, or on the fields. I've noticed that during these tough times, our administrators, teachers, and classmates have all been supportive of making sure our last memories are ones we will cherish. Whatever inconveniences that continue to arise, it will never take away the best memories and years of my life that I have spent at this school. As Gaius Plinius Secundus once said, home is where the heart is. As my high school career comes to its closure, I can proudly say that Conrad is my home. Conrad is our home. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Our next speaker is Conrad Schools of Science, Class of 2020 Valedictorian, Ms. Sophia Henriques.
From the words of Eckhart Tolle, life will give you whatever experience is most helpful in the evolution of your consciousness. How do you know this is the experience you need? Because this is the experience you are having at the moment. These are words I've lived by throughout my whole life, although I may not have known it at the time. My first experience with this thought process occurred when I first came to the United States. There was already a huge difference between me and my peers. First off, they knew English, and when I stood in front of all the strangers in a room, I could only say hello and where's the bathroom. Starting elementary school, I felt like I was at a disadvantage to my peers because of my background. They have come across things together that made them connect. Well, I was figuring out that Thanksgiving was a holiday. At the moment, all I knew was that I was struggling to learn American culture. But today, I know that this was an experience that I needed. I started school not knowing any English, but I ended up being the valedictorian. This all happened again when I started middle school. I thought I would be at a better foundation because in my mind, most students wouldn't know each other because not many students from my school were attending Conrad, but I quickly learned that I was wrong. Many students already knew each other from elementary schools like North Star, Marbrook, even Forest Oak, but I only knew one other person from my elementary school. Looking back at it now, I'm grateful for that one person. Even if we don't talk today, she helped me subside all my unease. All the anxiety and unrest from starting a new school motivated me to find people that I can relate to. Toll taught me that this evolution would teach me how to socialize, and although many of my friends are different from before, the experience I had at that moment helped me grow as a person. And then I joined cheerleading. Again, I was in a position where so many people already knew each other, and they've been participating in the sport for years, so it almost felt like I was intruding. It didn't help that the coach made a whole JV squad starting that year, so I felt like an outlier again. So many of the girls had previous cheer experience or dance experience, but this was the first time I was trying anything like this. But I kept with it. I made varsity my junior year, and although it was strange at first, I had some of the girls that were with me during JV to rely on. Staying on the team was one of the best decisions I've made. My senior year, I helped to make decisions for the team, which was huge for me because I didn't have 7 years of cheer experience. All I did was work my butt off for the past 2 years and made my place in that team. Toll was right. I didn't know that these were the experiences I needed, but the growth I had at these moments shaped who I am today and brought me closer to the friends that I have now, and they've been a huge help during these times. This brings me to the pandemic. Currently, we're all in a state of limbo. We don't know what is going on, and we don't know what's going to happen. We're all expected to start college in a few weeks, but we don't know if we'll even be able to go to campus. It feels like time is frozen, and we're all just trying to survive for these next few weeks. This feeling of shock isn't new to me. I felt it every time in these past events, and each time that life gave me experiences that would help me evolve as a person, but it seemed as a struggle at the time. Immigrating to the United States, starting elementary school, moving on to middle school, even trying out for the cheer team. Every single time I went into the state of, I'm just trying to take this minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, just to see what happens. We all slowly lost hope as everything was canceled one after the other. From prom to the picnic to graduation. We were celebrating when we got 2 weeks off, but then we were devastated when those 2 weeks turned into 2 months. But I know that we can survive this. That by the time that we start college in person, we will all be on the same even ground. Some of us will know peers from high school at our colleges, and some of us have had college experiences already through dual enrollment classes or taking summer classes, but we will all have this shared experience with us. We are all starting anew in college, but we won't be as divided as we have been in the past. These experiences have united us in a special way. Helped us evolve our consciousness as the class of 2020. Now we will all start on the same even ground. Thank you.
Thank you, Sophia. Our next speaker is the Conrad Schools of Science Class of 2020 President, Ms. Charnel Taylor.
Welcome all, students, faculty, administration, family, and friends. I am Charnel Taylor, the Senior Class President. I would first like to thank you all for being here, and thank you for your continued support during this time. Now, to the Conrad Class of 2020. Take a second and think about this question. Was high school the best 4 years of your life? Easily most, if not all of you, will say no, because of the current coronavirus quarantine situation we are in today. We miss walking across the stage, our last prom, senior picnic, and being all together one last time in the halls of Conrad. Although it may seem we have lost so much, we often forget about the memories we have made before our senior year. So I ask you to set aside your initial responses, because the answer to this question is much more complex than yes or no. I want you to really think about the past 4 years of your life. It may not be easy to remember, but if you trust me, I'm going to take you on a trip down memory lane, starting where it all began, freshman year. In 2016, we entered the jungle, aka freshman year. We were in new territory, warned by our middle school teachers that high school would be more challenging and things would be moving at a faster pace. We were afraid of what would come with officially being in high school. We may have struggled here and there, but in the end, we persevered and made it through. With the help of our amazing 9th grade teachers, we soon learned that being in high school was not as bad as we made it out to be. We experienced a lot of firsts, including taking biotech with Mrs. Tran, and Mr. Coughlin, the pep rally with the amazing Mr. Marsh, and the homecoming dance. We had fun and couldn't wait to go to 10th grade and experience more. In 2017, our sophomore year, we learned how to flamingo. The year after we entered the jungle and survived it, we knew what was coming our way and we were not afraid. We started our pathways, which for a lot of us were the first steps toward obtaining knowledge needed for our future professions. We learned how to drive, shout out to Coach K, which was the moment most of us were waiting for. We became more engaged, joining more clubs, trying out for more sports teams, and overall inserting ourselves in all kinds of different things. And as a result, meeting new people and making more friends in and outside of our grades. From this point on, we would continue to be involved and look forward to the next year and what it had in store for us. In 2018, we realized just how out of this world we really were. Junior year. Having recognized our new worth, we felt like we were ready to take on the world. We were bold, confident, and eager, so much so that our class crashed the class of 2019 seniors tailgate, the Friday of homecoming week, and what an experience it was. Since the start of that week, we were all in. We heavily decorated our hallway, participated in the theme days, and showed the whole school just how much spirit the class of 2020 had. We made our mark, and no one could forget it. We started the year off strong, and that was how we intended to finish it. This year was deemed most important in the books, and it sure was. Aside from all of the excitement, it was the most academically challenging year for everyone. We were taking rigorous AP courses as well as studying for our SATs. And on top of that, we were considering what we wanted to do with our lives in the next 2 years. Last but not least, senior year. The year of 2020 was ours to conquer, and it was filled with capturing the moments that we knew we didn't want to forget. I don't know if you remember, but on the first day of senior year, we had a fire drill in the middle of an assembly. And that was when we knew senior year would be one to remember. Little did we know what the year would be remembered by. The position we are in seems impossible. So unexpected, it's surreal. I know for a fact that I never imagined having to walk around with a mask just to go to the grocery store. Despite having our lives turned upside down, we cannot deny the fact that we are living in history. What other graduating class has received as much recognition from people all over the world? Facebook, Instagram, CNN. In the face of a global pandemic that has affected everyone one way or another, the class of 2020 was shown support and comfort from those around us. Being quarantined for 3 months is not something we do willingly. It is our mental and physical strength that helps us get through these troubling times. I know how upset I felt when I received the news about not going back to school, and I know I'm not the only one. Nevertheless, we all worked hard through high school, and we deserve all the recognition and congratulations given to us. We couldn't have gained the knowledge we have without the teachers that have helped us and family and friends that have supported us. The people in our lives have made us into who we are today, young adults ready to change. High school is where we flip the switch to becoming independent. Our memories are what will connect us forever, and that is because we have been through some of the best and worst moments of our life with the people in our class. We laughed together, cried together, overcame obstacles together, and grew together. Lifelong friendships were created with each other, our teachers, and those younger than us. You may not see it now, but we will be the class that is looked upon for inspiration. In the message that LeBron James gave to the class of 2020, he said, "The world has changed, and you will determine how we rebuild." We are all starting with clean slates as we go into the world as young adults, free to be whoever we dream. We are future innovators, leaders, caretakers, entrepreneurs, and so much more. We will not be defined by this pandemic because, like we have done over and over again, we will remember the tough and unfortunate times we've been through and use them to fuel the hunger we all have to be successful. We are the almighty class of 2020, redefining what it truly means to be strong and persevere. Unfortunately, our trip has come to an end. Thank you for coming along with me. It will be one I will never forget. Congratulations, class of 2020. Go find your new journey. Our final speaker is Conrad Schools of Science Principal, Mr. Mark Pruitt.
My role at this point is the presentation of the class, and that involves me telling a little bit about Conrad, a little bit about the class of 2020, maybe offering a word or two of advice, telling a silly joke, but it's important because it is the public presentation of you to the school board, to the Red Clay School District, and to the community. I also understand, however, that I am on video. and can be easily forwarded, so I will try to be concise. Each year I try to look at the class and find some characteristic or unique circumstance to serve as a theme for these remarks. In this case, the majority of you were born in the year 2002. You are all products of the 21st century. You are also a well-documented and discussed generation. You are members of Generation Z. Generations are defined as all of the people born and living at about the same time and regarded collectively. Listening today are probably members of the silent generation, the baby boomers, Generation X, millennials, and of course you, Generation Z. A New York Times article described Generation Z as having had their eyes wide open from the beginning, coming along in the aftermath of the cataclysms in the era of the War on Terror and the Great Recession. They are considered hardworking, somewhat anxious, and mindful of the future. Unfortunately, a Huffington Post column also described you as constantly connected, lazy, and apathetic. Yikes. I tend to agree with the Times article because Generation Z at CSS has already made quite a mark on our school community in the 21st century. Abby Dodds has earned more than $650,000 in scholarship offers. Max Autry, Maria Ramuno, and Mackenzie Spadea, senior leaders of Students in Action, led a school-wide holiday food drive that collected more than 5,500 non-perishable food items for the Richardson Park Community Action Program. Julie Kalesha is a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year. This class has raised funds and brought awareness to Live Like Lucas, breast cancer research, the UPenn Orphan Disease Center, and the Boomer Esiason Foundation. As well, it has organized anti-bully campaigns, suicide prevention programs, and grown a minority student union and a gay straight alliance. You Generation Zers are quite a bunch. 110 of you finished your careers with a GPA higher than 3.0. This group had an average SAT score of over 1,080. This group produced 96 dress code referrals this year. This group earned a combined $10 million in college scholarship offers. The class of 2020 is the first class to be Red Wolves for their entire high school careers. You produced legendary homecoming tailgates that far outshine the class of 2019 or the class of 2021. This group led the Wolfpack in supporting our 2018 girls basketball state champions. The class of 2020's homecoming was so hot, it set off the fire alarm. 51 of you plan to attend the University of Delaware in September, the most of any school. 47 of you will be doing things the Conrad way as the only Conrad graduate on your school's campus. Classmate Emily Kerrigan speaks of you all this way in her senior speech. We are the class that has grown up in the age of technology. We started and followed trends, collected water bottles and silly bands. We pushed ourselves beyond the limits. We set high standards. Kara Brumbaugh remembers the real lessons. While we likely won't be using the logs and theorems that we learned in calculus, we will be using the thought processes they teach us. High school is more than a social pool of teenage angst and stress. It does more subconscious teaching that's even better than the knowledge we cram before a test. Others of you reminisce, like Carrie Musumesi. I've gone to school for 12 years and have grown so used to the exhausting schedules that I wished for something different. but in reality, I wouldn't have it any other way. And Alyssa Fayville. I didn't realize I would be leaving what I would be leaving behind. I would be leaving behind the feeling of playing volleyball and basketball with my friends every day, the feeling I would get walking into Conrad every morning and seeing my friends in the hallways, and the feeling of seeing all of my teachers in the classroom smiling, excited for the day. And Maria Ramuno, wishing that she could sit in one more class, one more time, or help Mrs. Phoebe, Mrs. Colazzo, or Mrs. Gladys in the office one more time. We all, of course, know that older generations criticize younger generations. Many of us are guilty of defining people of a younger era as being technology obsessed, self-centered, unappreciative, or having it not as easy, or not being as tough. And while you are technology obsessed, as indicated by the number of phones we have collected in our main office over the last 7 years, I struggle with calling you self-centered or unappreciative. And not being tough, I can't consider such a thing on these empty steps here today. In her senior speech, Ashley Hayes is right when she discusses the ability to persevere through this uncertainty and through the ever-changing world around us. She says, "We as a group have been forced to embrace many unknowns, more than other graduating classes. Because of this, I believe in our ability to succeed in whatever we choose." Ashley is right in that you graduate or come of age during the unprecedented times of a world pandemic and racial injustice. Other generations with us today, including me, have made contributions throughout our lifetimes, but clearly we have not solved everything. We still have significant work to do in pandemic preparation and epidemiology research. And at times, we seem utterly hopeless in creating an equitable and more just society for all. But for you, at this moment, adversity brings opportunity. This makes me think of a generation likely not here with us today. The GI generation from World War II, also popularized as the greatest generation in the 1998 book title of legendary newscaster Tom Brokaw. Now, determining which generation is really the greatest is clearly subjective and likely varies based on someone's background or culture. He highlighted this generation because they fought World War II, not for fame or recognition, but because it was the right thing to do. They lived through the Great Depression, witnessed the war, and through this adversity, developed a work ethic and sacrifice that laid the groundwork for much of the daily life we see today. Classmate G. Lucas sees your opportunity generationally and collectively. She touches on the lessons taught at Conrad and encourages you to implement them in your new lives. She shares, "It takes a generation as a whole to change the world, not just one person. It's bigger than us." And Max Bricker actually quotes General Eisenhower, speaking to that World War II generation of soldiers. "You are about to embark upon the great crusade towards which we have striven these many years. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hope and prayers of your friends and family everywhere march with you. Commencements are not endings, they are beginnings. And today, you are beginning your individual and collective journey towards greatness. The pride I have today for the class of 2020 is like no other. Conrad is a life science magnet school charged with producing college and career graduates ready for the life science industry. And I have no doubt that someday, because of you, we will be better prepared for a biological epidemic. And I have to believe that because of you, we will begin to cure the injustice of those facing discrimination and with less privilege. Class of 2020, whatever your path, I believe adversity breeds greatness. And through this adversity, may the day come where history calls you 21st century's greatest generation. Mr. Green, members of the Board of Education, having duly certified that the members of the Conrad Schools of Science class of 2020 have met all requirements for graduation of the state of Delaware and the Red Clay Consolidated School District, it is my distinct honor to publicly present the Henry C. Conrad Schools of Science class of 2020. Parents, as your child's name is called, we would ask that you act as a representative of the district and present your child with their diploma.
Evan Matthew Edelman, Del Castle Technical Training. Bradley Thomas Albanese, Delaware Technical and Community College. Nicholas Christopher Allen, University of Delaware. Stephen Michael Allen, the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Omar Amaro, Delaware Skills Center. Tiffany Ambrose Durand, Bowdoin College. Lily Jane Antonio, Delaware Technical and Community College. Alondra Aponte Martinez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Lenny Darius Appleton, University of Delaware. Max William Autry, the United States Naval Academy.
Connor Harrington Bell, University of Delaware. Lajay D. Bell, Morgan State University. Jacob Robert Benson, the University of Pittsburgh. Emilio Bernal, Delaware Technical and Community College. Emily A. Bosch, West Virginia University. Theodore Kenneth Brady, entering the workforce. Max Kent Bricker, Rochester Institute of Technology. Victoria Lynn Brown, Johns Hopkins University. Kara Valentine Brumbaugh, United States Army. Hannah E. Burke, Lebanon Valley College.
Leah Bridget Burns, Wilkes University. Yoselin Carrillo Luna, Westchester University. Anthony Michael Caro, Wilmington University. Victor Emmanuel Castaneda, entering the workforce. Shayla Castillo Hernandez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Annalise Chavez, Delaware State University. Ian David Cole, entering the workforce. Antoinette Grace Colazzo, University of Delaware. Amir R. Cook, entering the workforce. Angel Mauricio Correa Pineda, Delaware Technical and Community College.
Julia Sarah Coughlin, University of Delaware. Alexis Curlett, Delaware Technical and Community College. Madison Curlett, Delaware Technical and Community College. Julie Curry, Newman University. Lila Dameyer, Westchester University. Beth Lynn Davis, University of Scranton. Alexis Hallie Dayet, entering the workforce. Rachel S. Deem, Delaware Technical and Community College. Lindsay Griselle Del Valle, Delaware Technical and Community College. Eliana Lizette Diaz, University of Delaware.
Angelina N. DiBiaso, University of Delaware. Caden Mercer Deneen, Temple University. Abigail Elise Dodds, Newman University. Cassidy Grace Dodds, Elizabethtown College. Emma Nicole Dodds, Goldie Beacom College. Kaylee Elizabeth Dodds, Goldie Beacom College. Shira Lynn Donovan, Delaware Technical and Community College. Nicholas Francis Dorda, United States Coast Guard. Olivia Ayana Dufage, Delaware Technical and Community College. Itzel Duran Herrera, University of Delaware.
Catherine Susanna Dykes, Delaware Technical and Community College. Nurjan Effie, University of Delaware. Zachary Edward England, University of Delaware. Tyler Ridge Earhart, University of Delaware. Jacob Tyler Farley, Delaware Technical and Community College. Samantha E. Farley, University of Delaware. Abigail Marie Farnan, Bloomsburg University. Alyssa Margaret Fayville, Muhlenberg College. Herbert James Ferguson, Delaware Technical and Community College. Adasia Monet Fleming, University of Delaware.
Andy Garcia, Dalcastle Technical Training. Joan Marie Gibson, Pennsylvania College of Art and Design. Margie Vivian Lynn Gilbert, Reading Hospital School of Health Science. Micaiah Gillis, Delaware State University. Jack Alexander Girardi, University of Delaware. Madeleine Elizabeth Gleason, University of Pittsburgh. Richard Alberto Glynn, Skidmore College. Christian Scott Gravino, University of Delaware. Timothy William Griffiths, University of Delaware. Shomudro Sanjit Gupta, University of Delaware.
Alana G. Halter, Pace University. Samuel Robert Hansen, West Virginia University. Ashley M. Hayes, University of Delaware. Barry Wayne Hayes, entering the workforce. Sophia Beatriz Henriques, University of Delaware. Rigoberto Hernandez Sanchez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Braxton Lewis Hill, North Carolina A&T State. Langston Alexander Hill, North Carolina A&T State. James Michael Holmes, Lycoming College. Grace Danielle Hood, University of Delaware.
Liam Daniel Horgan, University of Delaware. Samuel William Hubbard, Eastern University. Abigail Rose Hutchison, University of Delaware. Xavier Noel Jimenez, Delaware College of Art and Design. Marco Alexis Jimenez Lucero, Delaware Technical and Community College. Olivia Ashlyn Joswick, University of Delaware. Spencer Bernard Carney, entering the workforce. Morgan Elizabeth Kemsky, Newman University. Emily Elizabeth Kerrigan, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jalen Nathaniel Knight, Millersville University.
Julie Kalesha, Bucknell University. Fatima Lara Ruiz, Delaware Technical and Community College. Tristan Allen LaCastro, entering the workforce. Kenneth Lomax, Steel City Prep Academy. Giovanna Sinai Lucas, Delaware State University. Svetlana A. Masak, University in Europe. Ellen S. McIntyre, Penn State University. Miguel Angel Mercado, University of Delaware. Matthew Charles Meredith, University of Delaware. Jonathan Christopher Metzler, University of Delaware.
Chloe Taylor Milano, University of Colorado Boulder. Cameron Manila, University of Delaware. Emily Marie Monig, University of Delaware. Megan Elizabeth Moore, Villanova University. Tiffany Mosier, University of Delaware. Tasneem Mugahira, University of Delaware. Nicholas B. Mulick, Widener University. Ryan Paul Murphy, Delaware Technical and Community College. Carrie Elizabeth Musamesi, Penn State University. Crystal Ann Neal, Delaware Technical and Community College.
Jair S. Nichols Perdomo, Delaware Technical and Community College. Allison P. Norris, entering the workforce. Alexa Maureen Noason, University of Delaware. John Robert O'Connor, Goldie Beacom College. Kayla Nairanji Ogadi, Montclair State University. Rivka Ivanova Pihavik, University of Delaware. Stosh Allen Pihavik, entering the workforce. Michaela Angelina Perugini, University of Delaware. Alexandra Sarah Pfeiffer, University of Delaware. Linnell Anthony Preston, Steel City Prep School.
Miriam Yasel Ramirez Jimenez, University of Delaware. Maria Carmelina Romuno, Newman University. Garrett Nicholas Reed, University of Delaware. Tricia Louise Reniai, Delaware Technical and Community College. Aileen Maria Reyes Vargas, University of Delaware. Michael John Riello, University of Delaware. Justin Allen Ritter, Goldie Beacom College. Francisco Javier Rivera, University of Delaware. Yolanda Jadisa Rush, Delaware State University. Tyler Stephen Rudkowski, Delaware Technical and Community College.
Teresa Louise Ryan, Wilmington University. Manor Salhudin, University of Delaware. Destiny Ashe Samuels, Towson University. Ikars Sabdinas, entering the workforce. Christopher James Saxton, entering the workforce. Makaira Elena Saylor, University of Delaware. Julia Sheshpin, Delaware Technical and Community College. Nicholas Sierra, Delaware Technical and Community College. Alexander V. Sirkov, University of Delaware. Ashton Cole Sloan, Lebanon Valley College.
Edward James Summers, Liberty University. Mackenzie Elizabeth Spadea, University of Delaware. Josephine Spence, Delaware Technical and Community College. Talia Elizabeth Spatelli, University of Delaware. Skylar Ann Stark, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jacob Lee Strab, entering the workforce. Maxwell Chalmers Strickland, University of South Carolina. Matthew Hiram Sumter, entering the workforce. Alyssa Marie Sutton, Delaware Technical and Community College. Cheyenne Amari Tanner, Skidmore College.
Grace Tapia Bucio, Delaware Technical and Community College. Pete A. Thomas, University of Delaware. Kaylee Torres, Delaware Technical and Community College. Anthony Tovar, Delaware Technical and Community College. Leslie Tovar Garcia, Delaware Technical and Community College. Abigail Townsend, Penn Foster. Sincere Pruitt, Temple University. Jennifer Elena Tercios Ramos, Delaware Technical and Community College. Blade Morgan Terrell, University of Delaware.
Andriana Vadavuli, continuing her education in Greece. Miles Vandell, University of Delaware. Drew B. Waldman, University of Delaware. Dimitri Gianluca Warner, Morgan State University. Tiffany Warner, Newman University. Devin N. Wells, Thomas Jefferson University. Jason Christopher Wheeler, University of Delaware. Jared Connell Whitmarsh, Moravian College. William Aaron Wiles, Delaware Technical and Community College. Lauren Renee Wilkinson, University of Delaware. Jamar Wright, Penn State University, Brandywine campus.
Charnel D. Taylor, Widener University.
Come that I great alma mater over all prevails. By his strength with God the Father, may it never fail. Through the years that follow, let no one ever forget that Conrad is our alma mater, greater to us yet.
I would like to thank Miss Weldon, Mr. Canfield, and Miss Brown personally for being some of the best teachers I've ever had. I would like to thank all my football coaches, all my lacrosse coaches throughout my 4 years at Conrad, and especially my parents for supporting me my entire career.
I want to thank Coach Polsky for stepping up and being a good coach this year and helping the girls do the best that they can.
I just wanted to thank my parents, first of all, because they've been my supporters throughout my entire life, my mom and my stepdad.
I'd like to thank my mother for raising me since birth, and my grandfather for being a father figure when my real father wasn't in the picture. I'd like to thank my aunt for being supportive and showing up on Sundays. I'd like to thank my teachers for educating me and helping me prepare for the world. I'd like to thank my coaches for helping me both inside and outside the classroom. And most of all, I want to thank my fellow students for being there for me when I really needed it the most.
And I want to thank Miss Weldon, Mr. Naylor, and Dr. Philman for all the support they've brought me throughout my high school career.
I would like to thank all of my family and all of my friends.
I would like to thank my family for having my support and giving me support as well. And I also want to thank Ms. Brown for always being there and helping me when I need it.
I'd like to thank both my parents. I'd like to thank my grandparents for all pushing me throughout the school year to keep all my grades up. And I'd like to thank Coach McLean as well for checking in on my grades all season and pushing me to be a better basketball player.
I would like to thank my family and Mrs. Phoebe and Miss Dorda for always supporting me.
Thanks for my family, getting me through this. Thanks Mr. Pappas, had you for 3 years. And thanks to my coaches, couldn't do it without you.
I would like to thank all my family and all the teachers at Conrad.
I'd like to thank my family for all of their support and all of my friends, family, and Conrad for everything.
Mr. Canfield specifically, because he always, every time I put myself down, he'd always bring me right back up and tell me that I could do it even though I couldn't, even though I thought I couldn't.
I'd like to thank my parents for helping me get through my career at Conrad. I'd like to thank all my coaches for helping me learn the game and love the game. And finally, I'd love to thank my teachers for getting me through all the assignments, through all the tests, and through all the hardships that I've had throughout Conrad.
Miss Brown and Mr. Healy for getting me through some rough time.
Miss Brown, I'd like to thank Miss Brown and everybody
who's, told me I could do it and helped me through high school. So thank you.
I would like to thank my grandparents for teaching me how to push through everything.
I would like to thank my family especially because they always been there for me and everything. I would like to thank the teachers, alumni too, that helped me get to high school since I was in 6th grade. I didn't know how to speak English and here I'm now, class of 2020. I'm so thankful. I would like to thank God too because he's been there with me.
I'd like to thank my parents and the faculty at Conrad.
Thank you to my mom, friends and family, everybody. Thank you. Conrad, you're awesome.
I'd like to thank all the teachers that welcomed me after transferring and my family for being so supportive.
I want to thank my mom for all the support she's given me for the past 4 years at Conrad, and I want to thank McFarland for helping me.
Of course, I'd like to thank my friends, but probably my my grandparents and parents, because I want to be a cool guy if I didn't go through the stuff I did with them.
I'd like to thank my parents for always helping me and supporting me with everything I've done. I'd like to thank my coach, Mr. Madison, for always helping me, coach me in the player I am now.
Just want to thank my family, friends, everybody that's been here with me through this journey.
Okay, I would like to thank Sammy, Nayland, Tiffany, and Grace. They really helped me through my high school journey. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I would be standing here. They helped me with my work, they helped me emotionally. It's so nice to have a group of friends that I can rely on.
I'd like to thank my parents, my brothers, some of my teachers for dealing with me since 6th grade.
I would like to thank my parents and my friends and my teachers for helping me get through high school.
I'd like to thank my parents. I couldn't have done it without them. I'd also like to thank my girlfriend, Sammy. She helped me a lot through school.
I would like to thank all my friends and Miss McDonald and Miss Weldon, especially at Conrad, and all the staff that have taught me throughout the years how to not only be a good student, but be a good, person in life. And my parents as well for, being stuck through me all these 12 years and helping me at home as well.
I would like to thank the faculty for putting this all together and all of my family for coming here today to support me.
I would like to thank all my family and friends for helping me get through Conrad the last 4 years, and also the faculty that's there. They really helped.
I'd like to thank my family and my teachers for helping me through high school and supporting me along the way. My time at Conrad here was really good, and can't wait to see what happens next year.
I would like to thank the people who stuck by me through middle school, whether it be through my friends or my teachers.
And thank my parents for, forcing me to do this, the whole school thing. All my teachers, they really pushed me to be the person I am today, and I wouldn't have done it without them.
I want to thank my parents and all my siblings and all of Conrad's faculty, especially Miss Perez.
I'd like to thank Miss Weldon for her support during a rough time in my life, and Dr. P for teaching one of my favorite classes.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad for allowing me to come here.
And my family for supporting me.
It's alright.
I want to thank all the coaches that I've had because they've always pushed me to do my best, and I want to thank all the teachers this year for doing everything they could to make this year special for us.
I'd like to thank my parents for helping me with everything and never giving up on me throughout my entire life.
And the family that did help me out too. And of course the coaches for wrestling and soccer, and Miss Phoebe as well.
To thank my family and my friends just for always being there, and all the teachers who they've made Conrad really great over the last 7 years I've been here, and just thanks to everybody.
I'd like to thank my parents and Coach Jackson and Coach Kerrigan for supporting me all these years.
I guess I'll just thank my mom, my dad, my two sisters, Allie and Taylor, and my girlfriend, Cameron.
Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Dad.
I don't know. I've gone to school here since I was 12 years old, so I guess I want to thank honestly every teacher I've ever had there, because they're all just so amazing, and they've all just taught me so many things. I can't even think of them all right now because I'm going to use them later in life.
I would like to thank my parents, my siblings, and all my friends, Tiffany, Richard, Nayland, and Samantha.
I want to thank my mom and my dad and the rest of my family and Miss Perez.
I just want to thank my family for always supporting me and pushing me to do the best that I can, and especially Mr. Brainerd and Miss Weldon for helping me with my college stuff, because I was stressing out so bad with that, and they were just always there. Every day I was at their office, and they weren't annoyed, and they were just always welcome to help me.
I want to thank my mom, my dad, my stepdad, and my little sister.
Yeah, I would like to thank my family that helped me through everything through high school and all the teachers that supported me.
I'd like to thank all of my teachers for taking the time out of their lives every day.
All right, here goes. Who am I gonna thank? I would personally like to thank my family, my mom, my dad, my older sister for being some of the most incredibly supportive people. Absolutely wonderful, absolutely fantastic.
I'd like to thank my parents and my teachers for believing in and supporting me.
Thank all of my teachers from Conrad for giving me the best experience possible, and my family for always being there to support me.
I would like to thank my family and friends and faculty and all the guidance counselors for helping me with my decision on committing to Eastern University.
I want to thank all the teachers at Conrad. They are very helpful.
I would like to thank my teachers and coaches for supporting me all throughout the 4 years of high school.
I'd like to thank my family, faculty.
I would like to thank my parents for helping me out throughout the years. I would like to thank my coach, or my favorite coach, Coach Brown, for helping me with my lineman skills throughout the years. I would especially like to thank Miss Phoebe for being the nicest person in the world.
I want to thank my parents for being my biggest supporters through these 7 years at Conrad, and I want to give a special thank you to Miss Weldon for being there for me through a lot this senior year.
Okay, I'd like to thank my family for helping me with my schoolworks, and I would also like to thank my guidance counselors for always being there.
I'd like to thank my mom and my favorite teacher, Mr. McFarland.
I like Miss Dean, McFarland, and Miss Brown, and Miss Fontina.
I'd like to thank Mom for supporting me through all these years, and all the staff and teachers at Conrad for doing everything that they could to help me succeed.
I want to thank my friends, family, and all my teachers at Conrad for supporting me throughout my academic career.
Okay, I want to thank my parents for always supporting me through high school. No matter what I decided I was going to try and do. My coaches for always supporting me on and off the field through every injury, and my teachers for being my support system throughout the 7 years at Conrad.
I want to thank my parents for supporting me and making sure my grades are up and I attend the school. I want to thank Miss Fontina for the animal science pathway and teaching me everything I know.
Honestly, throughout the 4 years, I just kind of want to say thank you to people like Miss Phoebe. They weren't really teachers, but they were really people that stood by me.
I would like to thank my mom, my stepdad, and Nurse Brown, and all my teachers for just being there for me and helping me throughout the year.
Thank you, Miss Wiz, and thank you, Miss Blanco, for everything, all the advice and all the help you've given me.
I would like to thank Mr. McLean for leading me, always being by my side, helping me, being more than a basketball coach to me.
I'd like to thank my family for always you be on the right path, making sure I never get stagnant with my work, and I also like to thank Andre, who may not even be a part of my family, but has been with me since for as long as I can remember. And I also like to thank the friends I made along the way and how they genuinely care for me.
I would like to thank my family for being my biggest supporters and getting me through the past 4 years.
I'd like to thank my parents, grandparents, and coaches for helping me through my high school career.
I would like to thank my parents, especially my dad. He's always been there. Also all my friends, Jared, Teddy, Victor, always make the day just easier.
I would like to thank my family for constantly supporting me throughout high school, my teachers as well, and my friends.
Thank my mom and my dad and my grandparents for helping me through all this process.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, and all my family and friends for always supporting me.
I would like to thank all my friends who didn't give up on me during all these middle school through high school years in the same school. I didn't give up, and for them I was kind of kept myself motivated.
I'd like to give my brothers, my dad, and my mom a special thanks for giving me real thick skin throughout high school.
I also want to thank my mom and my dad for supporting me along the way, and also a big thank you to my friends for being there whenever I needed it.
Alright, so I want to thank my mom, my dad, and my sister. I wouldn't be here without them encouraging me every day of my life.
I'd like to thank my parents and my little sister for being there for me and telling me to move on. And I'd like to thank Miss Weldon for always having my back and putting light on rainy days.
I want to thank my mom and Mr. Naylor and Miss Allen. Yeah, just Conrad family.
Well, I would like to thank anyone who helped me on my process of college application and stuff.
I would like to thank all my family and friends for their support.
I'd like to thank all my family members, my mom, my dad, my stepmom, my sister. I'd also like to thank all the Conrad teachers here that have made an impact on my high school career.
I'd like to thank the Conrad staff, teachers, administrators, and all for supporting me the whole way, putting up with me for 6 years. I know it's been tough. I'd like to thank my family for keeping me afloat. It's been fun.
I'd like to thank my brother Bernard for always being there, and my sister for always listening, and for Mr. Canfield for just being an amazing teacher.
I want to thank all the teachers that I've had.
I would like to thank all the teachers who helped me on my journey to graduate, and it was a lot of help.
I'd like to thank Coach Brown and Coach Geiger for kind of pressuring me into playing football. It was definitely one of the better decisions I made in my high school career.
I would like to thank all the teachers that helped me make it through these 4 years at Conrad and have prepared me for the next 4.
For one, I'd like to thank my parents for always being there to try and help me through school, and I'd like to thank my girlfriend for being here these past few years and for being in the school and supporting me as well. My siblings for always just being there to have fun, and all the teachers who supported me and helped me through it and worked with me to try and get me to do well.
I want to thank my mom for making me go to Conrad 8th grade year and me ending up loving it, and thanking her for everything she does for me.
I would like to thank my mother, grandmother, and father.
I would like to thank all the teachers that I've had for helping me throughout the way to get to where I need to be.
I want to thank my mom and my dad for everything they've done for me and helped me through, and they always push me to be better.
Alright, thank you to my mom and my dad and to Miss Dorda for getting me through this.
I want to thank my mom and my grandma for supporting me and raising me and helping me.
I would like to thank my family, especially my mom and my dad, and I would like to thank my friends for always being there for me, and the teachers at Conrad for always giving me support.
I would like to thank my family, all my friends, and all the teachers here at Conrad.
Personally, I would like to thank my mom and my dad for supporting me and getting me through college, because that was really hard. And I would like to thank the Spanish department, like Miss Perez, Miss Leisure, Miss Gillen, and Miss Viscara for helping me learn the language. And my friends for helping me argue and learn Spanish slang. So gracias por todo y muchas gracias por todo y el idioma también.
I'd like to thank my dad and my brother for supporting me throughout my high school career.
I'd like to thank my family and friends for always supporting me throughout high school and through all the tutoring sessions and late night mental breakdowns. I'd like to thank everyone who was always there for me.
I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother, who is a pain, but he helps me get through schoolwork. My friends that I've made recently within the past few years that have been helping me get through stuff, and just everyone at Conrad for making it good for me.
I would like to thank my parents and my family for being so supportive of me, and also all of my teachers from Conrad for just always being there and being loving what they do. I would like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother and my sister, and my dog. They have been so supportive throughout all these 4 years, especially my sister. She's been giving me courage when times were tough, and I really appreciate her.
I'd like to thank all my family and all the teachers that inspired me to work hard, and I'm glad that they helped me get to where I am.
Alright, I want to thank my family and my friends and my teachers for helping me get through my whole years in Conrad.
I want to thank my mom and dad for always supporting me and always making sure I've been on point, just staying well as a student.
And I'd like to thank my mom and my dad.
I would like to thank anybody that helped me out throughout times.
Alright, I'd like to take a minute to thank anyone that's helped me along with this journey through Conrad. 7 years have been great, and hopefully it's going to lead to a great life.
I'd like to thank my parents and teachers for supporting me through high school.
I'd just like to thank Miss Dorda, Dr. P, and Miss McDonald for always being there for me, and just the school in general.
I want to thank my family, my friends, my teachers, especially my coaches. All these people pushed me to where I am now. They're the biggest influence on my life, obviously, and I couldn't get here without any of them.
I want to thank Mr. Healy for staying with me for the entire 7 years I've been here throughout my musical career and boosting me as a musician.
I would like to thank my friends for getting me at this point.
I want to thank all my teachers and my
I'd like to thank every teacher at Conrad.
family for everything.
I would like to thank Mrs. Weldon for always helping me out and making sure I am comfortable in school.
Okay, I want to thank my parents for honestly supporting me this far. I want to thank my grandmother on my dad's side for cheering me on when I was down and lifting me up when I was down. And personally, I want to thank any close family friends that has helped me through my rough times when I was sad or alone. And I want to thank Mr. Coughlin for making Biotech 4 so fun.
They basically got me here to where I am right now, and I'm proud that I was able to make them proud and get to this moment.
I would like to thank everyone at Conrad, not just the teachers, but the students too, for making my time here just generally an enjoyable one.
Well, I know I'd like to thank both my parents and my sister. They've been a big help just getting through school, to say the least. And I'd also like to give a big thanks to my math teachers especially, because they helped me really, figure out what I was gonna go on to do in life and pick my major in college.
Alright, I just wanted to thank my family for always supporting me through my Conrad journey. They've always shown me support, and they've just been there for me through whatever, and I couldn't be here without them today.
I'd like to thank Mrs. Weldon and Mr. Coughlin.
I would probably thank Mr. McFarland for dealing with me in AP research, because I would always goof around and everything, but he still helped me and all.
I'd like to thank my parents for supporting me throughout all 4 years of high school.
I would like to thank my family and friends for getting me just, through the year. I wouldn't have done it without them, honestly.
Mr. Farside, I love him. He's just a great teacher overall in general.
I'd like to thank my mom and my favorite teacher, Mr. McFarland.
I would like to thank my mom, my dad, and Mr. Naylor.
I'd like to thank my parents, my mom, my dad, and my sister, and also my teachers for helping me through my 7 years at Conrad.
I'd like to thank my family and teachers for always supporting me.
I'd like to thank my parents, my family, and every teacher I've had for the past 7 years. They've always been my biggest support system, and I'm really going to miss this place.
I want to thank my family for getting me through these 4 years, and my senior year teachers for making it the best that they could have been, and Dr. P especially for always being the person to talk to.
Okay, I want to thank my family, my coaches, and all my teachers.
But thank you all for supporting me and supporting who I am. Thank everyone.
First of all, I want to thank all of my family for all the support during my 4 years in Conrad, and all the Conrad faculty and teachers, especially Mrs. Dorda, because she helped me a lot try to transition into high school and find myself in Conrad and everything.
I want to thank Coach Jackson and Coach Nellen for being the best coaches and always pushing me to do my best.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad.
I want to thank my parents and my brother for always supporting me in everything I do, and my friends for always pushing me to do my best and always giving me a good laugh, and for all my coaches for just showing me my true potential and how good I can go as long as I work hard.
I would honestly like to thank all of the Conrad faculty. They've always been supportive, and they've always been there for me academically and emotionally. especially Weldon, Miss Dean, and Miss Wiz. They've always been amazing.
I'd like to thank all my friends and family and anybody who supported me through adversity. I would like to shout out my 5th grade teacher, Miss Burke, for believing in me.
I want to thank Coach Mallon and Coach Polsky for being the best coaches that I've ever had and always believing in me.
I'd like to thank my parents for just sticking with me all these years, putting up with me and stuff.
I want to thank my family, my mom, dad, my grandparents, and of course the Conrad staff, because without them I wouldn't be who I am today.
I want to take this time out to make a special thanks to all the staff, teachers, Ms. Weldon for helping me make my decisions in colleges, Mr. Marinello for giving me some fun during the fall, and yeah, everybody made this worth it.
I'd like to thank my sister for being a good listener throughout high school.
First and foremost, I would like to thank God for just everything, because He's really my biggest inspiration. And then I would love to thank my parents, my mom and my dad, for their support and their love throughout the 18 years that I've been alive.
I'd like to give a big thank you to my mom for supporting me through this, and another big thank you to Joshua Farside for putting up with me for 3 years.
I would like to thank my family for always supporting me and my friends for always being there when I need them in class. I would like to thank all the teachers I had since 6th grade who pushed me to do better each and every day. And a special thank you to Mr. Naylor for always being there since 10th grade.
Thank you.
I want to thank my family, my dad and my mom, and I want to thank a couple teachers. I want to thank Mr. McLean, Mr. McFarland, and Mr. Williamson.
I would just like to thank everybody that supported me on my journey throughout my entire school career, from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. I mean, you guys have been my biggest supporters, every single one of you. I can't thank you enough.
I want to thank all the teachers at Conrad, and special thanks to my father and everyone in my family who's helped me get through.
I thank my mom. She's supported me through everything.
Alright, I would like to thank my friends and family, especially my grandparents. Love them.
I'd like to thank my parents for giving me a place to stay, and Mr. Canfield for letting us have fun on Fridays.
I'd like to thank my mom and dad and brother and my sister for always supporting me and helping me through all the problems I've had coming through high school and middle school, and helped me to become the person I am today. I'd like to thank Mr. Healy for helping me find what I truly love and what I want to do.
Honestly, I'd like to thank everyone in my life, because I don't think I'd be the person I would be without everyone I have.
I would like to thank Julie and Paula for helping me be who I am, and I would like to thank all of my friends, especially Kara and Dennis, for being with me through everything.
I would like to thank my family for supporting me throughout my entire high school career. I would also like to thank Miss Weldon for supporting me throughout my struggles in high school. And I would like to thank my teachers for teaching me.
I want to thank Mr. Marinello for being like an amazing and supportive teacher. He's the first person that I actually enjoyed math with. I want to thank Mr. Naylor for directing drama and creating a big family with it. I want to thank Miss Brown for being caring and understanding with all of her students. And I want to thank all of my friends and family, whether we're still talking or not, for making me laugh, making me cry, and being there as I grow.
I want to thank my family. They have supported me through thick and thin, and most of the teachers here, Ms. Weldon, Mr. Canfield, have been really like my holding point through these years, and I thank them for everything, really.
I'd like to thank my family and Conrad for being so supportive of me.
I want to say thank you to my family and the staff here at Conrad, who have been nothing but kind and welcoming to me.
I thank my parents for being here with me through this journey, all my teachers for always being there for me, and my friends for making this experience really fun.
I'd like to thank my parents for putting up with me for over 18 years. That's a commitment. I respect that.
I'd like to thank Chloe for showing up even though she didn't really have to. That's about it.
I would like to thank my family for supporting me. I would like to thank my math teachers, Mr. Canfield and Mr. Sharp, for helping me find my passion in math. And I would like to thank everyone in the office, which is Miss Phoebe, Miss Colazo, and Miss Gladys, for supporting me all throughout the year. Thank you.